Okay, sure. You called me Gladi, but that's
Sorry, I meant Softdrink.
One of the things that's really interesting to see right away here is how quickly the chain counts are building up. Like, even though those first initial set of Zako that were coming through with Kiwi, since he's using these special auto fire rates, able to get almost 1,000 on his like damage chain counter before the first set of the windmills. And now he's already at almost 5,000, which, like, normally if you're playing manually, which I think Norio is, or he's using normal auto fire instead of these like very specific dialed in rates, he's below 1,000 right now. So generally in stage 1, because you don't have an option yet, you're not going to be able to do any of the like counterbanking strategies for high scores. So like to build your chain count super high. So you're just going to be trying to get the damage chain where you can off of larger enemies and just continue it by precisely moving across the screen, much like you would traditionally see in something like a Donpachi game, for example. So knowing where...
Oh, damn it.
And there's a reset. Just knowing where the enemies are going to spawn and moving there proactively and taking them in an order that allows your damage to maintain like a consistent level across everything. So...
Softdrink, do you know the reset rules with this event? Are there any, or do you know, is there any kind of formal rules for that?
I don't know if there's formal rules. I do know that the allocation is about an hour for this run. So that would mean that both players could reset by like stage 3, and they probably still have plenty of time.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it could be. Okay.
After a general sound, you cannot reset
Let's see if
anymore.
Norio goes for the safe spot on the boss. Going up for it. Yeah, he's going to try to go for it. So here you line yourself up dead center. Yeah, there you go. Boom. Beautiful safe spot there. One of
Yes,
my favorite
Katie,
parts
it's
of
the Steam version.
favorite parts of that fight. In the stage 1 boss?
It's not that bad, honestly.
Do we know what each of their score potentials are? Are they pretty close to each other?
So I've heard that Norio doesn't score that well, but I don't know that for sure. That's just like what Gus told me that.
So the guy on the right side is more for survival and scoring. And Kiwi is go for scores.
Yeah, so Norio coming in stage 2, you see he's clearing out the nanobushes right away. And those are where you get a ton of your chain count in stage 2. So yeah, it's very clear that he's just trying to get them off the screen. So he's probably not using any kind of scoring strategies. We might see him try to do something towards the mid-boss, but we'll see how that goes.
So he's not doing these crazy auto-fire settings like Kiwi is, I'm also assuming.
Probably not. I mean, he might have auto-fire for just the power shot, because doing the power shot does do significantly more damage. Kiwi here coming into the stage boss and Norio into the mid-boss. Looks like Norio is not tapping. Kiwi not going for the safe spot. Unfortunate, but understandable. So yeah, Norio looks like just trying to take out the boss, not going for any kind of scoring. This boss, even at low level play, if you do the tap strategy on him, like the slow A tapping, you can get your counter to 20, 30, 40,000 pretty easily.
Wow, it's amazing how much thicker the patterns are in Ultra compared to Maniac.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I didn't even know Kiwi was working on Ultra. I thought he was still on Arranged. But nope, he's been grinding away at Ultra then.
Yeah, I'm not sure how popular the arranged modes are in Japan. I think one of the interesting things about it is like a lot of the Japanese players are able to play it in arcades. So obviously the arcade versions are going to have a significant popularity there. Okay, so here, Kiwi, let's see, which bush is he going to try to go for? Usually it's one of these up here. Let's see. So far he's not going for any. He may be saving them for like a different strategy. Like he said that he's going to try to get 800 million from stage 5, so maybe he doesn't try to milk. Although here you can see, if you watch the counter, how it's flickering red against the mid-boss there. Like he's already at 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. So he's definitely going to go for some score here off the mid-boss. I guess he just decided the nano bushes weren't worth the risk. So over 100,000 already, that's pretty spectacular. Norio over here using bombs on this stage 2 boss. Stage 2 boss is absolutely brutal in Mushi 1 Ultra.
Wow.
Really nice, precise dodging there from Norio. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Coming up along the side. So that attack,
Yeah, he
you
bombed it,
just dodged. You generally want to do exactly what he did there, where you kind of scrape up along one of the sides and misdirect the majority of the pattern down. So that was excellent dodging there. And now this last attack looks really scary, but it's actually not that bad. Kiwi, wow, he's already gotten both score extends, 140,000 counter, so spectacular with keeping his chain up there. And now again, it's going to be very similar to sort of like a Dodonpachi style chain for the rest of the stage, where he's just trying to continue his damage across all of the enemies on the screen. He already managed the switch to W power. I didn't quite see exactly when it happened, but I'm guessing it was the power up carrier right after the stage 2 mid boss. So it looks like he set up well coming into stage 3, which, remember, he said he was most concerned about any issues that might come up in stage 3. So this could be, things are getting a little tense there. Norio's stream looks like it cut out for a second. Now it seems to be back. And now the boss, and again, bombs. One of the interesting things about bombs in Mushi 1 is that the angle that you throw the bomb at and where the bomb itself explodes actually matters a lot. If the bomb itself lands on an enemy, it does significantly more damage, which is really bizarre. So he's going to try to be throwing those bombs directly onto bosses in situations where he's going to be using bombs. So yeah, there. You see how he kind of aimed the bomb diagonally right onto the boss and completely skipped that pattern that Norio had to misdirect. So Norio, meanwhile, coming up to the start of the stage 3 kind of like battleship bug. I always loved the design of this stage. It's so reminiscent of like the older kind of like R-type battleship raid stages. But it's this giant, bug that you're going over because that's more cohesive with the theme of the game.
Is that, do you think, the inspiration? Because I've always thought it was kind of a strange deviation from usual, cave-style stages. I always wondered what they were going for with it.
I mean, I don't know for sure if that's the inspiration, but it certainly seems like that kind of a callback. Especially since a lot of the battleship raid stages take place on the third stage of the game in the R-Type series. It just seems like too much of a coincidence to me, but I could be wrong.
I do know they were trying to harken back to the more old-school Toplan style originally at one point.
So Kiwi was just kind of feathering there on that first part, doing low damage over time, and again kind of building up that counter with the blink, like letting his counter drop for a second and then resuming it with the next set of bullets to come in. So this part, it's hard to build up really, really high in this opening section, but getting to 17, 18, 19,000 is pretty good. Norio there was just
oh shit.
Okay, that's bad.
That's gonna really wreck his score, right, Softdrink?
So that'll wreck his score, but he's a little more concerned about it for survival. So most of his score potential in this run again comes from stage 5. It will affect him a lot in stage 3, but it might not be as big of a deal because most of the scoring in stage 3 comes from the later part of the stage, and especially the banking up against the head of the giant battleship bug. So we'll just see if he's able to continue his chain effectively through the rest of the stage, because one of the reasons W power is so important on stage 3 is, as you can see right there, like he just lost like 7,000 from his counter almost in that kind of intermediary section between the two bigger parts of that bug. So now he's kind of on one of the shoulders, and he's going to try to take that out. But as it moves from this shoulder over to the other shoulder, we might see him lose a lot of that counter. Norio, meanwhile, just kind of clearing things out and trying to play it safe. Mostly, you're going to see sticking in the corner and misdirecting a lot of the attacks into that corner and then cutting back out of there. That's going to be a very consistent strategy in this stage on almost all difficulties. In Maniac, you do kind of the same thing. So let's see what's going on here. Yeah, so Kiwi lost almost all of his counter there, moving from the one kind of shoulder wing to this other shoulder. And W power is important for that because the spread is so wide and it does so little damage that you can use it to kind of feather off of the Zako as they come in. So I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen as he comes up to the head. We might see that he's not able to score as effectively with S power, but it may not matter too much, depending on how well he does in the rest of the stages. Norio here just coming up to that head section. Not sure if he knows the counterbanking trick, but we'll find out in just a moment. So he's at about 400 on his child counters, 500 on his child counters. If he's going to start banking, he'd do it around now. And he is not going for it, but he is moving over to try to get the 1-up, which is nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, another death from Kiwi there. Okay, That was bad.
I've never been a fan of playing this stage when I was doing my Maniac grinds, but I know Kiwi really likes it, so that's a shame. He's getting...
Well, so it's a really kind of an all or nothing. Here we go, the banking. Look at that, 140, 150, 180, 100, 200.
Oh, wow.
Really going up there. So it would have been a lot higher if he'd been able to carry his counters through the whole stage, but he's probably still going to get to 400k there, or thereabouts. If he, hopefully he'll get the 1-up from this. His strategy does involve a little bit more damage on that central part. Yeah, there you go. Just don't kill it by accident too early. Okay, there you go.
Right.
Yeah, so that 1-up is by killing all the claw parts first and then the head. Norio, meanwhile, took out the stage 3 boss already. I think he did it with bombs. I kind of missed what happened there, honestly. Death from Kiwi kind of took me by surprise. Let's see. Yeah, so this is a very aggressive strategy from Kiwi, just really staying right up on top of the boss through those first set of spreads, and then here trying to misdirect a lot of these aim things.
One thing that's really cool about Kiwi is he's come up with a lot of really good boss fight strategies.
Yeah, it's really
especially the later two. We'll see.
Yeah, so that bomb there was very strategic, skipping the entire second phase of that fight. Super important. Coming in here to the third, this pattern is a lot trickier looking than it actually is. It's relatively straightforward to dodge. Hang on 1 second. Norio, he's going to bomb that. Norio, meanwhile, coming up on I don't know what these things are actually called, but there's these beetles in stage 4 that drop down from the ceiling and just flood the screen with crap. So he's probably going to prioritize taking them out immediately. Yeah, there you go. Knowing where they're going to come down, being in that position ahead of time, and being ready with focused shot to just get them out of the way immediately. So curious how Kiwi's going to handle them. S-Power actually has a much easier time dealing with these guys, but you have to be in the exact right position for it. So there you go, the heart pattern on Norio's screen. I love... Yeah, the double beetles are really mean.
Yeah, especially the second set coming up here.
Yeah.
Right here.
Nice. Yeah, there you go. So Norio here coming up on the stage 4 boss, which he's just going to try to take out as quickly as possible. Looks like he's bombing on it, but maybe he's setting up for a milk here. So
Kiwi is still feeling the nerves.
What's that? And Kiwi coming up on more of the beetles. Norio past the mid-boss, heading into...
This part right here is real tough when these beetles drop.
Yeah, the beetles coming from the side, and then you're in the radial section, and you have all these guys shooting all these little three-way spreads at you. It's really quite brutal. And then coming into the snakes.
There's a bomb.
Bombed. Yeah, that makes sense. Whoa,
oh,
what?
Hang on, something's happening for Kiwi.
He's like switching the auto-fire rate.
Fire settings, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Legal.
I guess that's allowed.
Legal.
There you go.
Can I just say that all these tight dogs are super terrifying with S-Power because of the increased movement speed?
Yeah. That's definitely something that we are underplaying here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no kidding. He's got to do a lot more precise movement with the S.
He's still going here, trying to go for score. So he was telling me this is one of the mid-bosses he's very afraid of. This last pattern is absolutely brutal. It just floods the screen with stuff, and the problem is once you get to this part with the stage scroll, the enemies start attacking at the same time. So there you go, timing that cancel really nice.
Wow.
And that's going to lead right into the beetles as they start coming down. So that's 1 out. And 2. Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, there you go. All 3 of them. Nice. Norio, meanwhile, just trying to keep his chain up on the snakes. Doing pretty well with it, actually. Looks like he has, he's able to keep himself up in 25,000 range. So one of the things that's really interesting to look at is how both of these players are kind of manipulating the fact that a lot of the enemies here shoot 3-way spreads. So they're just very slightly tapping out of the way of that and letting the continuous fire from those guys just kind of create a path that they can follow in between some of those shot angles.
Something's going on with the... Oh, who knows?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
He's getting revenge pause on Kiwi. He's like, okay, if you're going to pause, I'm going to pause too.
What Norio did there, but... They may be trying to sync it back up a little bit, but no. If they were going to do that, then they would have waited longer.
Yeah.
So, Norio at the stage 4 boss. This boss is really, really mean in Ultra.
Yes.
Patterns can be very, very hard to deal with. So he's just bombing out of the first phase, which makes perfect sense. We may see a bomb in the pattern after this one, or in this one too. That's fine too.
So I know Kiwi came up with a really good strat on this boss for a range, but I'm not sure if that will carry over to Ultra or not.
Well, we'll find out in just a second.
Because typically the strategies involves a lot of bombing, basically.
Yeah.
He found a way to do it without bombing as much. So we'll see.
Usually you use 2 bombs on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so there's 1 bomb. Uh-oh, car alarm's going off. I hope you guys can't hear that. Oh wow, so yeah, he took it down to half health really, really fast there.
Yeah, but he used 2 bombs on the first phase, and he's probably gonna use another bomb there.
Yeah, this is the Mark strategy of taking this guy out. Just throw bombs at him till he dies.
Yeah, that's pretty much how you do it.
This pattern's garbage on every mode.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do know he came up with some nifty strat in range at least.
Trying to cancel off of these pitcher plants.
Switching back to the autofire rate.
The autofire rates, man. Alright.
Legal.
Kiwi, turn off autosave during your stream. Jeez.
The score difference between the two is pretty awesome.
Insane,
yeah.
Sorry, I left for a bit.
Kiwi already has almost 4 times as many points, and if all goes according to plan, he'll end up with dozens times more by the end of this stage.
Right, this is where he cashes it all in.
Yeah, this is where it all comes together.
Great showing of what.
Oh! Alright, that hurts, but that still won't compromise his scoring potential too much, because again, the majority of his points are going to come from the mid-boss, which he hasn't quite reached yet.
And the second half,
Ooh.
Yeah,
the final boss. There's no. Is there any extends left? I'm sure he already got all those, right?
No, there's no extends left. Beating Aki with 1 stock is going to be...
Oh, jeez.
Oh! He wants to restart.
He wants to restart.
Ouch.
I wonder, why is it not allowing it? Is it just because he paused it at a weird time?
I don't know.
No, starting on the game.
We still have time left
the
on the
game's
timer
not
to restart.
restart.
Because we were looking at, it looks like they had like a 30-minute restart. Yep.
Yeah. There is an hour-long window. Anyway, moving on over to Norio for a moment. Coming up on that mid-boss. So here, he actually is in a fantastic position if he were to try to score. His counters are really high right now, so he'd be able to bank for a lot. But again, he's just going for that survival. So
has he died yet? I don't think I've caught a death yet.
Not in stage 5. He's died twice already, but not in stage 5.
Yeah, he died twice.
Okay.
Let's start, but are they both playing on PC?
I'm not. Yeah, it seems that way. Yeah,
maybe we can tell from like any VSync, like tears or anything like that. I know Kiwi is for sure. I'm not sure about the Japanese player. Oh,
and
he's going to restart too.
From Norio as well. That was definitely not a good place to lose 2 lives. I believe it does have Japanese language support, but that... Yeah. I'm not quite sure what's going on here overall. Are they both going to be resetting, or...?
Yeah, Norio looks like he wants to reset.
Yeah, he definitely looks... It's... Yeah, Ultra to Marathon is definitely not the most consistent
Tell Gus
thing.
that.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I also wonder, Shmup Slam, he did a live demonstration of a range, and then he's done Stunfest. I'm talking about Kiwi. He did Stunfest Blue Revolver. But you're saying he was feeling nerves specifically for this event, right?
Yeah, I mean, I asked him about this event. I didn't ask him before the others. So, he could have been feeling nervous there as well, and frankly, I would be surprised if he wasn't. But yeah, he did say he was feeling specifically nervous about this.
Because I interviewed him for the Stunfest runs, and he said he was feeling slightly nervous, but really not that nervous, which showed when he was on stream. He was just absolutely looked like the Terminator up there. So I just wonder, with the whole Japanese audience and stuff, if that adds a little bit of extra pressure, because he's representing the West and all that.
Yeah, it could be.
But it looks like they both reset.
Is he going to go for the safe spot strategy this time? No.
He's too swag for that. I wonder, do you think, Softdrink, there's any scoring advantage for not doing it?
The safe spot?
Yeah.
I don't think it makes a big difference, especially since it's so early in the game. I really don't think it would make a significant difference. It's just kind of swag.
That's what I was thinking, but...
Swag spot. No, I don't believe there is. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, hang on. He's doing some milking on the nanobushes here. Check this out. So getting right up on there, bringing his counter up a bit. Went from, I think, 3 to about 8,000 from that nanobush.
Doing that in Ultra is so scary.
Yeah, Ultra's extremely frightening, and here to do some of these nanobush milks. Is he going to go for the other one? No.
This is like New Game Plus for Softdrink. He's got to recommendate the whole game.
Yeah, here we go.
New Game Plus.
Kiwi's bringing out the real aggressive strats.
So, not quite sure what's happening with Norio. You might be having some streaming difficulties. Here, heading into nice. Okay. Yeah, so heading into that stage 2 mid boss with the nanobush milk. Yeah. So coming into this boss with like 40,000 counter and now already almost at 100, we'll probably see him leave it with 300,000 or thereabouts, depending on how well he does with the rest of it. So.
He is playing on the Steam port, the Japanese player.
Yeah, it seems...
It said press the Z key at the main menu. So.
The commentators apparently were blaming Steam for the issues that Norio was having. So I'm not sure what exactly that means, but hopefully we'll find out soon. There we go, 100.
Steam.
Ooh. Oh, ooh. Okay, so that was an issue there. So the movement of the power-up items is random, and Kiwi had to bomb there just now in order to get out of the way of the power-up so that he didn't pick it up when it was in M power instead of W power. And previously he was on an approach to try to pick it up, and it switched from W power back to S power. Remember, he really needs that W power for stage 3.
Yeah, I've always felt like that was one part of
a lot of score potential because of that bomb. His counter got halved.
That whole power switching, power-up thing has always been kind of my least favorite aspect of the original Mushi, because if you want to switch your power, sometimes you have to put yourself in some pretty risky situations to do that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and the same thing is true for picking up options. In stage 3, when you're picking up options on the left shoulder of that big battleship, kind of as you're starting to approach the head and neck area, if that option spawns in a bad position or moves in a bad way, you can get in a really awkward spot trying to pick that up.
Yeah, I see. Got the nice RNG.
Yeah.
I know. I remember reading that, older Total Plan was a lot of the inspiration.
I could definitely see that, especially with
read that as well.
Mode.
Yeah.
And that they basically wanted original mode to be a Toplan style game.
Yeah,
that's why I like original the most.
Right, because people would expect bullet hell from Cave, so they're like, "You want bullet hell? We'll give you bullet hell."
It was something like that, actually. Softdrink, I read an interview about it, and they were saying basically...
One moment here. I just want to take a moment to talk about Norio's strategy for this the stage 1 boss pattern. So you saw him start a little bit off-center, about like a fifth of the screen away from center, and midway up the screen, and then just slowly tap down on that big radial pattern. That's a very, very safe strategy to approach that pattern. It's probably the most consistent way to handle that particular pattern, that big radial thing, which is otherwise actually a very dangerous pattern from that boss. Yeah, there's apparently they were going to make it a more stoic game, without all these crazy scoring systems. And yeah, so I think that's actually why the Trap 15 arrange mode that has Mr. Stoic that removes the scoring system. I think that's why it's called Mr. Stoic.
That's funny.
So yeah. So anyway. Could be. It's hard to say for sure. The multipliers for power-ups and bombs in Ketsui are pretty significant, like in the long run. You know, the life and bomb stock multipliers. But yeah, the scoring you get from just collecting the power-ups is pretty low. Yeah. So just hang on though. Kiwi here, if you guys will notice, because he's come in with W power and been able to keep it to this point. Remember, in his previous run, he had died by now.
Yeah.
So he's able to much more effectively transition between the different parts of the boss. Here with S power, he only had 8 or 9k after working on this kind of shoulder piece, and now he's in 50k. Hopefully, he'll be able to continue that all the way through the rest of the parts of the battleship. So, Norio on stage 2 mid boss again, looking pretty close to timeout. Yeah, he actually timed it out there. That's very interesting. So if you kill that mid boss early, it actually summons two kind of big moths from the top of the screen that will come and kind of flood the screen with bullets. It can become pretty tricky to deal with. So it's interesting that he timed that out there. I wonder if that was intentional. Kiwi, second shoulder already with 43k. So much better run so far. Let's hope he keeps it up. Yeah, I mean it was a warm up. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, I think it's
this
for
transition
Kiwi.
from
It's
here-
kind of like a good feeling that the other players restarted as well. So it's like they're both on the same footing now.
Yeah, definitely. So some of those transitions there, you notice that he lost almost half of his counter between kind of where he was previously with that shoulder section and this part as it starts to kind of move up into the head and neck. And it'll drop again probably. I wouldn't be surprised if it dropped below like 15k as he starts to approach the head. But in a moment, some of the hitboxes will activate that are a little bit further up. Oh yeah, there you go, down to like 3. But it's not a huge deal because again, the majority of the score that he's going to get from stage 3 is actually just going to come from counterbanking off of the head itself at the very end of it. Norio, really nice dodging here on these ultra stage 2 patterns. This boss is just such a brutal enemy, and both of them have handled it so well, bombing in that early phase and then misdirecting that pattern with all the kind of chevron shaped spread. So Kiwi coming up to the head. His counters are a little bit out of sync right now, which is not ideal, but he should still be able to get a lot of points out of it. Looks like he's around 800, 900 with his child counter values. So we'll probably see 300,000 before he starts moving over to the claws. Yeah, right about 300,000 as he starts moving over to take out those kind of pincers. See if he's able to get it any higher. Yeah, I'll probably get to around 320, 330 by the end of it.
This looks like a very stressful part of the run.
It's flashing. Yeah, so that's... yeah, nice. Okay. He really doesn't want to accidentally kill the head there, but W power, it's pretty easy if you're trying to go for those kind of pincers on the sides to accidentally hit the head enough to kill it. And that would be very bad because you'd miss that one up. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, ultra scoring, if you're aggressive, racks up fast in the right places.
Oh, nice dodge.
Oh, made it through.
And bomb, yeah, good bomb, and bring it down to the halfway point, second phase. Yeah. Most people would bomb there.
It
He's
doesn't
pretty good at directing that pattern, creating some openings for himself. It's interesting how he moves through that pattern. He goes out of center, which is a little unusual, but it was kind of cool there because he was able to time that bomb in such a way that he kind of completely skipped the last phase. Really nice to see that. Norio coming up on the first shoulder of the big battleship. Battleship bug. I don't know what to call this thing. I keep saying battleship, boss, bug, whatever.
I like the name. I think it's a good description.
All right, we're seeing some
legal strats,
menu
legal
here.
strategies. This is like in GDQ when they do the menuing.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly.
It's part of the run.
It's part of the run. Yeah. Yes. Oh my god, yes. Anyway, So yeah, like I was saying earlier, with these three-way spread enemies, some of the Zako that are kind of in the water here, it's just kind of pay attention to that because it's really nice to see on this stage how they're both kind of manipulating that movement. Those enemies can only fire; they're aimed directly at you, and so if you just tap over a little bit, you can create these nice pathways for yourself to follow. Very, very easy on this stage if you move too much to kill yourself.
Kiwi's playing really clutch. Oh,
yeah,
damn!
Yeah, it was taking so much.
Right when I was saying it.
Yeah. But he's handling the beetles well so far. Stage 4 is really hard. The cutbacks with some of those enemies on those big overhang sections, especially in the second half of the stage, can just be absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
So, and remember, Kiwi has some particular concerns about the second half of the stage and the part after the mid-boss. So,
this
fingers
part
crossed
right here too.
that works out well for him. Yeah, this part with the multiple sets of double beetles, this is just so hard. But he's handling it really nicely here. Just be very small movement.
Yeah.
Good bomb. Just get that out of there. I don't want to deal with that crap. Now coming up on the mid-boss, he's again going to try to set up for scoring here. So very precise movements.
Look at these movements.
Look at the movement speed. Ooh.
Yeah, the RNG on this pattern can be really overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah. And again, S-Power, the movement speed is so fast. It's very, very hard to do some of these precise dodges with S-Power. So, yeah, so it looks like he's going to try to just take this last pattern out as quick as he can here. And yeah, very nice. Norio, meanwhile, coming up on the 1-up, the end of stage 3. Not going for score too much, although his counter is about 45.
Oh, no, Kiwi boy.
That was not a good death from Kiwi. This is running into a bad situation in terms of resources.
Oh my.
Oh,
Chain dance.
God,
You're gonna play it safe, or you're just gonna get a game over.
Kiwi.
I'm hoping he's at least thinking to himself, okay, maybe the TLB is off the table, but I could at least get to the TLB. That's what I would be thinking at this point.
That cancel was so important right there. If he had mistimed that cancel, that section is incredibly hard to dodge through without spending a bomb. So glad he got that cancel with the snake at the right time.
Yeah, every bomb counts right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at this point, every single resource Kiwi has, he needs to maximize as much as he possibly can. I don't know what his strategies are for Aki. It may not even be possible for him to...
it's possible. He's doing the dodging strategy. He can no miss it.
Oh, that's so
cool. What is Kiwi's next stage extend? Stage 5?
There's no more...
I think they're all gone.
Oh,
right?
So there's no more fixed extends. Yeah, and he got all of the score extends already.
Like, probably super fast.
Yeah. Yeah. He got all the score extends in stage 2. Yeah, you get the extend on stage 2.
Okay, so last time he just bombed this guy out, so he probably will do that again.
We'll see. I mean, bombing him out is definitely the safer way to do it, but again, he wants to save those resources for stage 5.
Yeah, this will be interesting.
Yeah, menuing again. Norio coming up on the beetles again. Alright, so let's see. Kiwi. Okay, bomb. Yeah. Get out of there. Get out of there.
Yeah.
2 bombs. Probably 3 bombs.
He's gonna use 1 more, yeah.
Yeah. Especially with S-Power, dodging that pattern is really, really, really hard. So just get right on top of him and...
Nice.
He can do it.
He's got stage 5, the best stage in the game, so...
Yeah, but Aki, you can no miss free bomb it with Kiwi strat. It's possible to no miss no bomb it, but I know the way Kiwi does it, you can use 3 bombs. 3 or 2 bombs. That's really optimal RNG.
It's come down to the wire. Wouldn't be a live demonstration without the tension, right?
Oh, that cutback!
Oh yeah.
How was the cutback? Oh!
Yeah.
He got walled.
Alright.
Got the cancel.
Yeah, so Trace is better for scoring because it lets you consolidate all of your options in one position, which for a lot of the kind of child counter accumulation and counter banking strategies is what you're going to want.
Right.
With formation, it's much harder to get all of your child counters to build and bank consistently.
They're both using trace as well, so it might be really good for survival as well.
Yeah, well, it depends on how you move. If your movement in stage 4 and 5, if you slowly, like you see Kiwi just did this here actually. So if you slow down the rate at which you're lasering, like holding down the A button, then you can actually leave your options spread out over the vast majority of the width of the screen as you're doing cutbacks and such. So you can very effectively clear the part of the screen that you're no longer on, if your movement is set up for that. But if you're not really paying attention to that and you just hold down the A button all the time, then they'll always end up being right on top of it. So you do have to think about it a lot more than you do with formation. Ooh, get that canceled? Yeah.
Get the cancel, yeah.
That's
Mine's
good.
behind too. It's just
Little
glitch.
push flag.
All right, here we go. Stage 5 mid-boss. This is where it all comes together. Or all falls apart.
Right. Even in Maniac mode, this mid-boss is really challenging.
Yeah, and really important to score there as well.
Yeah.
Whoa. Looking
It's
downright
just that
3D
nice.
right there. Kiwi.
Very nice macro on
Nice,
those
yeah.
walls.
This part's gonna be rough.
In between, still going for the banking. Oh man, you madman. You madman. Oh, 380,000.
He got through it.
He got through it, but now comes the real hard part. So this pattern is
damn.
really, really nuts, and he'll start to move off the top of the screen because the stage is flowing out. So good, he killed him on time. He didn't get completely walled out. Meanwhile, Norio is manually dodging one of the final patterns from stage 4. Ooh, that was really beautiful while it lasted. Yeah, he
Was
had
he
no
out of
bombs.
bombs?
He just had to go for it.
Yeah.
So well, no, because he just died. This end part of stage 5 on Kiwi's side going to be a lot of very strategic cutbacks and cancels. So a lot of there's these big kind of crawly enemies that shoot at a lot of spreads. You can see one right there, and those are going to be timed very precisely with some cutback movements, so he can.
Whoa.
Oh,
yeah.
All right, well, beautiful run from Kiwi. We'll see if he's allowed to credit feed and keep going. In the meantime, check out his score.
Massive score.
382 million, it looks like. So, still, fantastic score regardless. I think that would put him at like 3rd or 4th place on the leaderboard on the Steam version.
Right next to himself.
Right, yeah. So it looks like you're not credit feeding through. Regardless, it was an excellent run. Disappointed we didn't see the full game, but but that was still quite remarkable, especially under this kind of pressure. Let's see if Norio can do any better.
Yeah, plus those scoring strategies look so risky, with the the shot type and everything.
That's the thing with Mushi 1. Like, if you're playing this game for score, you have to go for really, really, really risky strategies. You're keeping the bosses alive. You're delaying your kills on almost everything. You're using, in some cases, you're using lower power shot or a suboptimal shot that you wouldn't use if you were just playing for survival. So yeah, absolutely playing in kind of the riskiest way you possibly could.
And he was playing S-type for a lot of the time, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's playing S-Power for the vast majority of the run. He was only in W-Power for Stage 3 up until right before the Stage 4 mid-boss. So, Norio, meanwhile, still in the first half of Stage 5, before the mid-boss, I believe. So let's see how this goes.
Yeah, last run he was doing really well to this point as well.
Yeah, definitely.
It was the last half of this stage that it got nasty.
Yeah. Well, and that's what happens. The first half of Stage 5 is generally just kind of fun, at least in my opinion, in Maniac and Ultra. You just kind of, you're on one side of the screen and then you're on the other, and then you get a big cancel, and things feel really great and satisfying. And then you get to the second half of Stage 5, and it just throws everything at you, and you really need to have a route in
it's
order
kind of
to
like
approach
the
them.
mid-boss is kind of like the dividing point of, okay, now it's time to take your money.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Or a lot of resources. I mean, you can just kind of bomb your way through it if you know when to bomb and when to exploit the cancels off those big crawly guys. But all right. So yeah, we're gonna see some macro dodging around these walls here. Very nice.
Oh yeah, nice movement.
Yep, and a bomb there. He thought he was gonna get hit. So It's so hard.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it looks so easy, but like actually trying to do it is so hard.
Depends on of the region. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's really hard.
Oh, I didn't realize there was some randomness to it. Okay.
I know on Maniac that last pattern's not too bad at all, but it looked brutal in Ultra.
So Norio here kind of emphasizing a quick kill strategy as you're moving back and forth, really trying to take out a lot of these larger bugs before they have a chance to become a real threat. Good bomb there. It looked like he was about to get hit.
Note from Kiwi and Shay, it says auto stage 5 boss, so they couldn't get an 800k counter on it.
Oh.
That sucked.
Yeah, I was curious about that because he said he would be getting about 800 million from this stage alone, and he ended up with only 380. Come on, what are you doing, Kiwi? It's only like the 4th best score on the leaderboard. What are you doing?
I wonder, was he using strictly in-game autofire, or was he having some kind of shenanigans with his other, like, auto hotkey settings and stuff like that? Do you know?
I don't know off the top of my head. I can check my notes after the run.
Good so far.
It could be, especially since, as we talked about before, Mushi has some well-established Toapon influences. Really, really nice setup for this part from Norio. Just these very slow taps over from left to right. He's going to have to make a cutback right up here, but I think he set himself up for it really nicely. Yeah, there you go. Just timed it just right in between those spreads. Very nice.
Okay, that was a second back.
Yeah, doing that section without a bomb is real hard.
He's looking pretty good on resources, right? As far as coming into these final 2 fights.
It depends on the way he does the
it depends on his strategy. Oh boy. Okay, bombing already. Interesting.
Yeah, many people bomb that
bottom. Trying to get out of this first phase quickly is pretty common.
Then did he learn the route for this? No, he didn't.
Prominent.
Okay, now he's got to dodge whatever's coming to him now.
Yeah, so that pattern, there you go. If you time it well, it's not too bad because you can get a guaranteed cancel off of it if you know how to move. And in this section, it looks really scary, but with slow tapping over, it's a lot more manageable. You have to take it slow. If you work too quickly through this part with all these like spreads and the needles that are coming down towards you, man, it just gets so messy so fast. Have to take it slow.
Ooh.
It's like fighting. Yeah, the thing is, these patterns are super hard to read visually.
No, this pattern is not hard to read. It's hard to set up, in fact, because sometimes you don't set it up right, and when you set it up right, it's just streaming.
Yeah.
Dodging. But, most of the time, you mess up.
Well, this is a cool pattern.
Oh man, this one is scary.
I have no idea how he's getting through this one.
Oh, that was
slipped
so nice.
Right through. That's awesome.
So nice.
I think Mushi patterns are a lot of fun in Ultra mode, as far as like what they're making you do and the way they work.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so here we go, Aki.
The TOB.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I'd like to note, like, Norio's scoring hasn't been impressive. His dodging is on point.
Yeah, his dodges have been very good.
But the thing is that he doesn't have any bomb right now, so he needs to be very aggressive to speed kill the first phase, or he's gonna die on the wall.
Nicely done.
Because usually you need one bomb on the first phase to skip the wall pattern.
Here he comes.
So, but I didn't see him aggressively point blanking the TLB, so I don't think.
No, he hasn't been point blanking it.
Yeah.
So far, he set things up well, though.
We'll see.
Wow. Somewhere in there is a hitbox.
There you go.
No.
You made it
through.
Oh, this.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, he died on the wall pattern.
Yeah,
as
so
expected.
that pattern is so hard, the one that he just died to there.
Yeah, you usually you use one bomb there.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no, he's just gonna end the first phase.
Yeah, so now he's going to get up in point blank as much as he possibly can before he
Nice.
gets into the final pattern.
Any bomb
He's doing the CC strat.
Yeah.
Yes, it has a bomb
And
shield,
he
it
has-
looks like.
Yeah, he has to delay his shot as much as he can because it'll shoot
Now
back.
he's gonna suicide. No, yeah.
Yeah.
So fixing the cloud.
Yep.
On the
Yeah, there you go.
side.
Putting it off to the side.
You use the scrolling of the screen.
Yeah, so the
Wow.
point on the screen where the bullets emanate from is sort of fixed. And if you bomb and then die strategically, you can push it off the side of the screen so that only half of the pattern actually spawns.
Oh, that's cool.
Looks
There
like
it goes,
he
there
may
it
not
goes.
have set it up correctly. We'll see. No, he's still getting good damage off of it.
Yeah, but he's too low on resources.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's gonna have to just go for it.
Wow.
And again, he can't really shoot here while the boss's shield is up because it'll counterattack. Oh,
Oh, that's... Oh, man, that's frustrating.
Just
so
at the end there.
close.
so close.
Amazing
Yeah,
run, though. Wow. Made it that far.
Yeah. But I mean, as you see, there's a huge difference there. He didn't even make it to 100 million. He's at 85 million by the end. But his patterns were, his strategies overall seem to do very well for him. A much safer approach to a lot of parts of the game. So it just goes to show how much variety there is in playing this game, even at a high level. Approaching Ultra like this is no joke at all, especially in a marathon setting. So.
GG. Look at the stream. 388.
Okay. Yeah. Sweet. What a way to start. What
I know,
a way
that's
to
a great
start
way to
tonight.
start.
All right.
And then Futara is up next.
Yeah, Futari's up next. All right, so we